So I've been wanting to film an update on the cottage for a while now, and in order to do that I always need him to be with me because he knows all the ins and outs and what's been going on, and he can explain it so much better than I can. But getting Dan to sit down for more than 5 minutes ever is quite the challenge. So now I've got him here, I thought we would just film a quick update, let you know what's been going on, because even with lockdown and everything, we've still, quite a lot has happened, hasn't it?
Yeah, materials were interesting at first, but managed to get everything ordered in.
Getting hold of them.
Yeah, but it was just slow to get stuff in.
So there are certain things that Dan's been able to do, and we were lucky that we were at the stage of the renovations that a lot of the things that you needed to do were quite, like you had all the things you needed, or we were able to get them.
That main stuff was already built, it was just floor finishing, so
yeah, bits and pieces. So what I thought we would do is, we've been to the cottage and filmed some clips which I will insert over as we're talking, but we'll just talk you through kind of room by room what has been done and where we are and what is next as well. So the last thing that you guys would have seen on here, I think, was the kitchen. Like Dan had built and installed the kitchen himself, and I think that's probably the last that we filmed. So since then, if we start kind of from the front of the house.
Were the worktops on or not?
The worktops were on. Yeah, the worktops had just gone on. So if we start kind of at the front of the house where you come in, so the biggest change in the like utility room area, I think all those cabinets were there last time we filmed a video, but there's been some painting and things. So the painter was able to go in on his own, wasn't he? He
was there separately to us. I was in the workshop, so he's been through and painted.
So the colour we chose is actually the same colour as the upstairs bathroom, which we'll talk about later. Yeah, fire and ball colour, chromity. We looked at, I get confused, it's not Mizzle, is it, that we went for? It was,
no, it's chromity.
Yeah, it was chromity. And especially in the bathroom, but in the downstairs loo utility area as well, I think it's made a really big difference.
Yeah, it was, there's stonework on one side, and then obviously it's a cottage, you've got low ceilings, so just brightens up the walls.
Yeah, I think it's a nice colour. It kind of complements
the units
the stone as well.
Will be painted white once I put the doors on. That's
right. So that's the next thing for that room, and then into the lounge. Then, so one of the biggest things that Dan has been up to is laying the parquet floor.
There's oak parquet flooring throughout the lounge now, and the bottom of the stone staircase. In the main lounge, we've done a nice border all the way around the edge because the walls are funny shape. So.
Did that mean you couldn't run the parquet right up directly to the walls?
Could have done, but it just makes it a nicer finish by having the bulk of the floor laid and then cutting and putting a full border around. It
does look lovely, and we had a bit of a debate about the finish of the floor because I wanted to keep it quiet.
The last parquet flooring we actually did in a different cottage. And we
not for our house, it was for
that was just a job, but
yeah.
We put a medium oak stain on it just to sort of give it a unified sort of look, and just to tone away from more an orangey tone of the natural colour of the oak.
But I was concerned about the floor being too dark because I wanted to keep it quite light. So yeah, it was interesting because we couldn't agree on whether or not to put the stain on before it was oiled.
Yeah, well the problem is. With the oak floor, the best finish is to use a hard wax oil. I like it, it's natural colour of oak, but Kate was worried.
I didn't want it to look orange.
It's not
I
orange,
wanted it to be cool toned, not like, I didn't want it to look too warm toned. I wanted to keep it quite, yeah, light and bright in there, and it is slightly darker than I would have liked.
Yeah, well that's Osmo Pollock's hard wax oil, so it's got a slight dark,
yeah.
It does darken up a touch.
But it looks lovely. It does.
And it's the natural colour of oak when it's been oiled. And
so yeah, I got told off a few times about that. But in terms of the walls and things in there, it's all lime washed, isn't it? So
yeah, that whole of the lounge has been like lime washed on the stone, and then there's lime plaster and lime wash on top of that, so yeah. It's incredibly light in there anyway, and it's a south-facing room, so it gets all the light coming through the windows and the door. So then the kitchen, I don't think anything else has really happened. No, it's just
been
painted through, and then upstairs
it's been painted white. Hang on, before you go upstairs, the patio and everything.
Oh
so
yes,
that's all been
outside to the garden. We've done a the same limestone flagstone flooring as is in the kitchen outside for the whole of the patio as well. So when the French doors are opened, you get the inside outside sort of feel of the same.
Flows from one to the
it's the
other.
same material going from inside to outside.
The same level as well.
Yeah, and we brought in some topsoil as well, levelled that off. So I just need to seed the lawn now. I need to rotivate it
It's
next
a big
week.
lawn though, isn't it?
Yes, it was. It is. The garden itself is about a third of an acre really in total, but great for the kids. You just run up and just all be flat as a pancake.
It's a nice big space for them to scoot around and things on the patio, and a few nice little areas because it's quite a nice sun trap, isn't it? That back garden.
The patio itself is 105 square meters of slab, so a lot of slabbing and a lot of pointing as well.
Yeah. So that took. How long were you doing that for?
Oh, it was
Good few weeks.
It was a good 2 weeks because we had to level up the ground, bring in all the aggregate. We got it direct from the quarry up the road. So, but because of the access to the site, we were bringing in a 2-ton tipper. So we brought in about 18 ton of sand and cement underneath the patio. It's a big area. It's all been laid on stone dust, so it's nice and solid. It was tested by Lyndon when he brought the topsoil over with the telehandler.
To drive that over the.
Was
there a little bit of you that was like?
No, we put planks and everything on so we could roll straight over the patio, and obviously the arm.
Lyndon's a farmer. Sometimes he helps Dan with his big tractor things.
Yeah, well, I fixed some guttering for him, and he gave me some topsoil, so we just did a trade-off.
I always joke, because we live in a village, I always joke that Dan's life is like an episode of Postman Pat, because everyone's got their little job. So there's a gardener and a farmer, and Dan's the builder, and everybody helps each other out and saves the day.
You see what's going on in the village.
Postman Pat, or Bob the Builder, it's probably a better example. Anyway, so that's the downstairs. Nothing else has happened downstairs really since the last update, has it?
No, it's just the doors facing the garden have been painted, nice greeny colour.
Yes, yeah. What
The
colour did we use for that? That wasn't a Farron Ball colour.
that Farron Ball Vert de Terre.
Oh, it was a Farron Ball.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. The painter actually chose that, didn't he, and just did it. But he knew roughly what we wanted.
Yeah,
and it's
the same colour as his front door.
Right, yeah, and it does look lovely.
Nice cottage green colour. Goes nice against the stonework.
Yeah, so we had a bit of a debate then about whether we should paint the windows the same colour or keep them white, but we decided in the end it would be too much. What about the French doors? White?
White, yeah.
Okay, because that's Dan's next project now for downstairs, or what you're currently doing.
Yeah, making those up now, so...
in the workshop.
Get them finished up this week, and Paul's going to pop round and paint them, and then we'll...
Paul's the painter. See, Postman Pat.
And then we'll fit, and then probably middle of
I think
next week or the week
that
after.
is going to make a massive difference when those French doors go in, because it feels nice and light in there anyway, but there's very few windows in there, and then the kitchen doors as well. That's the next thing.
Yeah, well, just going to be spending the next few weeks in the workshop just getting everything made up and in, and as I'm getting them on, Paul will be painting in between the other jobs.
Yeah. So then upstairs, the bedroom area, nothing's really changed in the master bedroom and ensuite. That's all kind of as it was last time we did an update.
Is that already painted? I think he had already painted.
Yeah, because that was the first room you painted, wasn't it? But we've just gone for white all through the upstairs, really, haven't we? So we wanted to
everything's white except for the bathroom, which is the same colour as the...
Oh, right. So the bedroom and our ensuite bathrooms all as it was. The last thing that you'll be doing before you move in is the kids' beds. Now, I had a bit of a researching session last week, and I put some of it on Instagram actually, so pop over and follow me over there if you want to see the kind of thing that we're going for. I've got them on a highlight on my profile. But in our last house, Dan built these incredible bunk beds, I suppose they are, cabin beds. What would you call them?
One was a cabin bed, really. So
Dylan's was the house.
Made to look like a little beach house with a little ladder.
I'll find a clip and insert it of our old
and then in
beds.
Aidan and Merrin's room, made it look like a house. Kate found Kate found a picture online, and I just sort of copied it and just tweaked it a bit and made a little spiral staircase, 3 kite winder staircase, but
with storage in it.
Each step that was a drawer, so you had storage as well.
I loved those. Well, that one in particular, Dylan's was lovely, but that bedroom, I loved it, and the kids loved their beds, and it was always such a, like, everybody who saw them was like, wow, amazing. So we wanted to recreate something.
6 sheets of MDF and a bit of pine. Type of paint, that was it.
But it looked amazing.
It looked nice, yeah.
Looked brilliant. Obviously Dylan and Merrin are a little bit older now, and they will be sharing rooms with their younger siblings, so we don't want anything too, like, housey, I suppose. We want it to be a bit more grown up, so that it grows
more
with
like,
them.
The ceilings upstairs are vaulted, so we've got plenty of head height. So
and they've actually got a really cool, I think I've mentioned this before, but they've got in the...
Yeah, there's a bit like a mezzanine storage sort of level. It's not really storage, but it's like a mezzanine platform above the door when you come in, which will probably be a great place for the older ones to sort of creep up inside and
so
just
put like cushions up there, and they can just like tuck themselves away right up the top in the roof, basically. So that will be accessible from the top bunk of the bunk beds. I'm doing a really bad job explaining this, but basically what we're looking at is a more grown up, kind of like a loft room mezzanine feel rather than kids bunk beds. So I had some ideas from the research that I did, which I'll put on my Instagram, or you'll be able to see on my Instagram stories. And I think we've settled on what we're going to do there, haven't we? It's quite simple. Yeah. It's more about the soft furnishings, like the bunting, and there'll be curtains and fairy lights and that kind of thing to kind of dress it up a bit. The girls will be all floaty with
pretty things, and the boys is just going to be like...
Well, the boys one is really cool. The boys one has got, the design we're going for, it's got like a cargo net to stop Dylan rolling out of the top bunk, but it looks really good. And Aiden's bed will go sort of out from the bunk rather than...
Yeah, they're sort of going like that, the top bunk and the bottom bunk underneath, rather than being flat. True bunk beds.
Yeah, so that will allow Aiden to have a little space underneath Dylan's bed, like a little desk area as well.
A little desk and his shelves and things.
So we're just trying to make the best use of the space in the rooms, because they're big rooms, but we just want to make sure we're making the most of the space. So that is the plan for the kids' rooms. They've been painted through, as I said, white as well. And then the last, there's the landing area, which Dan will be doing a little airing cupboard in one corner.
There'll be a cupboard down one end, and probably some window seats. It's the top of the old stone wall. It's quite wide.
Can we have bookshelves along there as well?
Yeah, bookshelves.
I think that'd be really nice.
I can go on after. But,
yeah. And then the last thing that's happened probably since we last updated you is the family bathroom, which has been painted. And it has made the biggest difference. I love that room now. I liked it before, but it was very white, wasn't it? So we've got these white mosaic tiles on the floor, and then white flat brick tiles on the walls, and then it's quite...
It was a bit, looked a bit clinical before. But,
I suppose that,
But now it's got a bit of colour, and it's a full wet room, so the entire floor is all tanked and waterproof and laid to a level with the floor drain. So it's great because the kids can throw as much water as they want out of the bath, and it will just go straight down the drain.
Which they do. So the only thing to go in there now is a shower screen, which will just be a glass panel, like not a proper shower enclosure.
It would just be an L-shaped screen, just so you can walk in there as the shower area. So it'd be open, so there's no sliding doors or anything. Yeah, and the colour we went for, again, was the Cromarty Farrow Ball colour. So we did talk about, I talked about maybe doing a like a dusky pink colour in there, which Dan was... Yeah, like setting plaster or something like that.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a lovely colour.
It was already plastered, so it was the colour of setting plaster
I think
anyway.
It's a nice colour.
It's nice now.
It is. Now I've seen it, the colour it is lovely, and I think we made the right choice. But
the front door near the village shop, on one of the cottages there, they painted their front door in that colour.
What, the plaster?
The setting plaster.
Oh, no, they haven't. I've seen that. No, they haven't. That's like that's a real like a baby pink. It's not setting plaster. No, see that you're not thinking of the colour I'm thinking of.
It looks terrible.
It doesn't look terrible. I think it looks really cute.
No, I think it looks awful. It looks much better than a black front door.
No, it looks nice, but it is that front door is like like a baby pink, like a pink. This isn't like that. It's kind of like halfway between a beigey tan and a pink. Anyway, it doesn't matter because
we're not... The same colour as the plaster that was on the wall.
You're exhausting. One day I'll have a room painted in that colour.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will. I'll do it when you're not there and you'll come home and it'll just be done.
No, because you're terrible at painting and...
Doesn't mean I won't give it a bash. Anyway, we digress. It is a lovely colour. I love the setting plaster colour. However, I'm glad we went with Cromarty because it does look very nice. So that's pretty much everything that's been done since we last updated you, and Dan currently now for the foreseeable next couple of weeks anyway.
The next 3 weeks I'll just be solidly in the workshop.
Pottering away, whittling stuff out of wood. That's what he should be doing.
Crafting stuff out of wood.
Crafting, not whittling.
Whittling.
You're whittling.
No, not whittling. Whittling is like shaping a stick.
Okay. Crafting stuff out of wood. Sorry. So I guess, let me know in the comments actually, because a lot of people have commented on the various cottage videos to say, we want to see more of Dan at work doing stuff. We want to see more of his like process, his crafting process. But he's useless at filming stuff. He'll forget to turn the camera on. He won't say anything. But what I could do is just lend him my camera when he goes to work. He could film, like,
there'll be a lot of useless footage in it.
A lot of, yeah. Well, no, because I can speed a lot of it up.
Nobody wants to see a piece of wood being passed through a table saw.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying.
Or a planer, or me sanding it.
No, it's not that. It's the process. So it might be interesting for people to see. I've been telling him for years he should have his own YouTube channel because he watches people making stuff and building things, especially cool things like the kids' beds, and we've got a really cool project that Dan will be doing in the house once we're there for the garden for the kids, but we'll tell you more about it later, so stay tuned to see what that is.
3 projects in the garden.
But the one that I'm thinking of is really different, and we will definitely be filming that, so stay tuned for that one. But
yeah, well, keep talking about that another time.
Yeah, but let me know if you think he should film more of him making the stuff rather than just us showing you it when it's done.
I've got some photos of bits being done, like the parquet flooring done, well, not done, half finished, but
I think it's interesting, and you watch videos of people on YouTube making cabinets and...
Making cabinets?
No, but doing stuff. You love watching that stuff, so I'm sure there's lots of people out there who also love watching that stuff, so maybe you should share more. You can borrow my camera and then do a voiceover afterwards, so you don't have to think about explaining your process. You can just film.
Can I just do the work instead?
That's not the attitude, is it? I think you should. I'd like you to be able to document more of the stuff anyway, because you can look back on it in the future. Anyway, I digress. Let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in watching that, or you think he should do it, because I think he should. So that's it. That's where we are to date with the cottage and what Dan will be working on over the next few weeks. I hope you enjoyed hearing about it. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more of this kind of video, and don't forget to subscribe and give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one. You look so bored.
I'm not bored, that's just my face.
Bye.
Bye.